Hey everybody, Charles here from Just Takes One, and today we're back with a new special kind of thing that we're going to do today. I'm going to show you 25 books that you might have missed that came out this spring. The pandemic was still going on. We were still trying to figure out how the kids are coming back to school. A lot of them were doing half virtual, half in classroom, and there was so much to do with the teachers and librarians and curriculum makers and even parents and students. A lot of books were just kind of missed and fell through the wayside. So what I'm going to do today is show you some great books that came out earlier this year. I think you're going to like. And as always, these are the review agencies I deal with data with mostly that I get and I read all the reviews. And so we got AOA for Book List, Hornbook, Kirkus, Publisher Weekly, SOJ. These are ones you might see a thing here or there that says star review, AOA, star review, Hornbook, whatever it is. I only put the ones that have star reviews. I note them on there. Doesn't really affect, the books are still great. Some of them didn't get star reviews. Some of them didn't get very many reviews at all, just because the way who publishes them and how the market was going, and weirdly how the reviews sometimes come. But they're still really great books, reviews or not, but it just gives you an extra highlight on them. And I really hope you enjoy it. So we're going to dive right into this. Okay, here we go. So the first book is Book's Big Adventure by Adam Lerpont. I might screw up your names and I apologize. And Jahi Jambor Bell is the illustrator. Also in the top right-hand corner, you see P to 2. You might see K to 3, 1 to 4, different aspects of it. That's the interest levels, grade levels we think this book fits in best with. So Book's Big Adventure is really cool about a story. I think librarians will really love this book. It's about a book who was popular at one time. It just kind of gets put on the shelf and lost and rediscovering a book. It's got a simple SEL message within. And I think this will be a perfect fit for any book that's in a library. Because you see the cover, it's brand new. And after a while, it kind of gets less and less time shown. So put this book out, give it to your students, and once they get back, they'll come back with that book and want a book that has been read in a while. And a great way to bring some great books that don't get the attention they used to get is this is a good book to start them off. Get them this book, they'll like it, and then they'll come looking for a new book or a new old book. All right. Next is Even the Smallest Will Grow by Lita Judge. It's a nice SEL book. It just shows you the world not that big around you. It's okay to be small and that everything has a place. It's a very sweet book overall, a mother and daughter tale, really simple drawings, but good artwork. I really liked it, and it's using your imagination. Strongest Stone by Christopher Bow. Very cool imagery. Very love this. It's prehistoric times and creatures. And it's a father and daughter tale. It's got a nice SEL message. I really like it. I like it just kind of fits your indigenous or pre-Columbian times. Just cool messaging, artwork and designs. You see the cave paintings and just the different creatures they run into. Very cool book. I really like this one. Sunrise Summer by Matthew Swanson and Robbie Bear. It's about summer vacation, but doing something different from your summer vacation. Instead of going out to the beach or doing this stuff, this family actually goes and helps a small community up in Alaska prepare for the year of helping them fish. It's got some back matter in it. It got 2-star reviews from AOA and Publishers Weekly. And it's just about taking a trip and helping people. And it's got really good back matter information about this place and what they do there. Very cool book overall. A Neighborhood Walk, a Musical Journey by Pilar Winter Hill and Olivia Duchess. Pilar Winter Hill is a talented, very young teenage violinist. And this is kind of what inspired her to become a violinist. And that music's all around you. This is a very good book for intro to music classes. You have this one, and then we had a book that came out this fall called A is for Oboe. A great pairing because it teaches them different musical terms. So get this one to inspire them, how music is all around them. It's got an SLJ review and just different places you can find music. It's very cool, all done. And I think people will really like this. Over the Shop, Geronimo Lawson and Quinn Ling. It's a wordless book, but very well done. It's got a really low-key LGBTQ tale. It's about a grandmother and her granddaughter who run a little shop, and there's an apartment above the shop. And the apartment's kind of old and run down, and no one really takes it until this couple comes into it. And that's where the low-key LGBTQ tale is. One of the characters is non-binary, but it never really brings it up, but it's there. It got 3-star reviews from Kirkus, Publisher Weekly, and SOJ. It's a very cool book. I really liked it. Just kind of see the family and different people, and the old lady's a little more grumpy, but they kind of open her up as they all come together and become their own little family. It's a very sweet tale. I would not be surprised if this ends up as a Stonewall finalist this year because it's just so well done. I Sang You Down from the Stars by Tasha Spilett-Summer and Michaela Gold. They're indigenous people. It's about native culture and native stories about a new baby and the connections to the world. Very cool book by Kirkus and Publisher Weekly Star Reviews. And I really like the artwork. It's really well done. And I'm talking about, a new baby coming to life. This could be a great book for somebody who's got a little brother, a little sister coming, and just kind of different than you're used to. As you see, mystical, energy around the world and their native beliefs. Very cool. I like this. Keeping the City Going by Brian Flocka. This is a great book for recap of COVID last year. It really does honor essential workers from nurses to truck drivers to delivery men. Very well done. It gets a nice scope of what we went through last year. It's got an AOA and Publisher Weekly and Kirkus Star Review. And just about what happened was being locked down. So I think it'll be a good remembrance book about what happened. And Brian did such a great job of doing this, filling this in for you. Laxmi Much by Shelley Anand and Nabi H. Hali. It's an Indian American, and it's about body acceptance and family support. And it's got an AOA, Kirkus Published Weekly Star Reviews. Very sweet tale. Very good artwork. I liked it. Stands out. And just how kids are and being yourself and being yourself is okay. And that everybody comes in different types. My First Day by Quỳnh Nguyen Quan and Hon Kim Lin. It's about first day of school. It's about Vietnamese. It's got Vietnamese characters. And just talking about how people take a different mode of transportation to go to school, but they really are looking forward to it. It's got great artwork. I mean, look at this imagery going on in the water, in the stuff that's underneath them, and how all his friends are there also taking little boats to go to school. So it's a different take of how to get to school kind of book. Classified: The Secret Career of Mary Gold Ross, the Cherokee Aerospace Engineer by Tracy Sorrell, who's a fantastic, she does a lot of great nonfiction picture books, and Natasha Donovan does really great artwork to bring us out. She was one of the very first female engineers who ever been hired by the private sector. She was Native American, but she was a mentor and a teacher to people of her tribe, and a very known inspiring figure at Kirkus Star Review. And it's just talking about her life and how she came of age and what she did from engineering and how she was excluded for so much stuff. And then what she's done. And some of the stuff she's done is just changed people's ideas. And she brought back to her people and helped bring better things to her people going through the government because of what she was able to do. When Mom's Away, Lahi Amid and Farid Zaman. Very cool, another book. It's in, you got diversity there, but it's kind of low-key diversity because it's not driving the story. I also call it passive diversity. Mom is a frontline healthcare worker, and so it's just the dad and the daughter trying to find things to do to protect themselves, but keep the family bond going, and just waiting for the mom when she gets to come home and be there for her. There Goes Patty McGee, the story of the first woman's national skateboard champion by Tucci Niro and Erica Medina. And, you're looking for sports biographies. This is one that's about a lesser-known figure. It's also more of the extreme sports. So it's got the skateboarding aspect of it. She was one of the first females to really break through the rhyme or termination. It's got good back matter, and it's actually got research sources for students as well. It's a great book for Women's History Month, and it's talking about how she just kept doing and kept trying. And some of the girls called her out for it, but she didn't care. She wanted to be able to do it. And she found a coach who was willing to put her on her team and give her the opportunity. And her teammates stood around her as well. And the great image of her, of her doing a handstand. You see there's got some sources there. So it's a good book overall to show you, to teach these kids how to do a little bit of research as they for the older grades. Bossnet and Her Dove, the true story of the world's first female rabbi by Samuel and Veli Mintz. It's about overcoming and the importance of education and reading. She was, it's also got a little bit of the Jewish miracle worker in it. So some aspects of it, but it's a very cool story. How her diet gave her a chance to learn and read and what she did with it and how she pushed past the barriers she fought. And it's 500 years ago. So it's a very cool book overall. I really liked it. I think this might be a Taylor finalist this year because I think it's going to be that and kind of enjoyable. Pocket Full of Rocks by Engelberg author and Mackenzie Haley. This book came from the American Association Psychology Association Press, Kids Press, Imagination Press. Very cool book about depression and family helping and understanding what depression is and how that person with depression feels. So a very good book about bringing an understanding to it and showing her daddy's having issues and she doesn't understand. She wants to know it's herself and it's not. And a really good telling them what depression is and how to go through it and be there supportive somebody who has it. 7 Special Somethings, a Nouri's story by Habib Khorram and Zani Fadidi. It's about Persian New Year. It's got a great breakdown of traditions. It's got really good artwork to go along with it. It's a great multicultural book. If you're looking for different aspects, different religious holidays to celebrate, different religions, this is one of those great books that fits it. Really fun artwork in it. I like the little thing. It tells you what all those different things mean to the people and what they use and kind of creating your home one. So very sweet tale overall. I think it'd be great just to have on your shelf. You can use it for Multicultural Day, but it fits anything. So it's a good book for anybody to pick up and read. In My Mosque by M.O. Yutsky and Haytham Ali. It's a debut book. It's written lyrical or novel in verse, whatever you like to say. It brings understanding what mosques and what mosque life is like and people who attend them, what they do there. And it's got really great artwork. It got a Publisher Weekly NSLJ star review. And just very cool, gives you an understanding of mosques. A lot of people don't understand exactly what happens there and how the order is. I think it's a very sweet tale and brings understanding when you don't get a lot of it. Listening to the Stars, Jocelyn Bell Burnell discovers pulsars. Very cool book by Jodi Pananji and Alexandra Bedi. Jocelyn discovered pulsar stars. That's what she did. It was an amazing discovery. No one ever found it before. This is part of the She Made History series from Albert Whitman. Very cool books. A lot of weird, different characters that you don't see a lot of, and I really like that. And it's got star reviews from Kirkus and SOJ, and also really great artwork. So it tells about Jocelyn's life, growing up, and she wanted to be physics, and they didn't think women could handle physics, but she pushed past that. And she discovered a whole new set of stars that we've never known before, and now she can chart neutron stars. So very cool book, very new character, new science history book. So I think you'll like this. My Day with Penny by Tammy Charles and Sarah Palokos. This is about Haitian culture, and very rarely do we get a book about Haitian culture, especially at this age level. There's a couple books that are more YA levels and maybe 1 or 2 in middle grade that talk about Haitian culture, but this is a good understanding of young kids and how to with Haitian culture. It's got a mother and daughter tale about growing up and take your time, and I got an SOJ star review. So really sweet tale, what life is like and what the different aspects of it. So very cool book. Amar's Picturegate by Reem Fakir and Fanim Azim. It's about the Muslim holiday of Eid and their celebration, traditions. It brings a cultural understanding, and it's got very good artwork about it. It got 3-star reviews, as you see. And Mira's has to celebrate Eid, and she's excited about that. But it's also the day it's School Picture Day, and she doesn't want to miss School Picture Day, but she has religious responsibilities she must fill, and it's about making compromises and finding out. Very cool book. I really liked it. And you see the artwork in here and understanding and getting ready. And then the confirmation of, picture days is there as well. A Most Clever Girl, How Jane Austen Discovered Her Voice by Jasmine A. Sterling and Vesper Stamper. We always need more liberal arts female writer biographies, and this is a great one to give them an understanding of Jane Austen. So when they get a good introduction to her herself and her writings, and so when they get older, they'll look forward to reading some of her work. And a very good tale about different life and her characters, how they kind of came like, and her writing. So I think y'all like this one. Coldbreaker Spy Hunter, about how Elizabeth Freeman changed the course of 2 world wars by Lauren Walmart and Brooke Smart. It's a really amazing story about this lady's life, how she really changed and shaped the world of cryptography. And her role is so important that much of her history is still classified because the aspects they use today still based on some of her early work. And it's just a very cool book. There's also a great YA nonfiction book biography about her. So when they get older, it's there as well. And that came out this year's book. And it's a nice little right there. I like that. It's a little cryptography the kids can figure out themselves. Orangutans and Other Useful Tools Animals Use by Richard Haynes and Stephanie Levers. It's a really fun look at animals and what they use, different tools they use to go through life. It's got interesting facts. I think it'll have a really good appeal to most people. Kids that love animals and to figure out how the animals use different stuff. It's very cool. You know, we got floss, and you got bait and lures and probes, and what, you know, elephants and orangutans and all these different animals use different aspects as tools for themselves. Secrets of the Sea, the story of Janine Power, the revolutionary marine scientist, by Evan Griffith and Joan Stone. The debut book as well about marine conservation. It's got a good back matter in it, and it talks about how she used aquariums to really improve the study of marine biology and how it is important and accountable, how the aquariums have come into the day. So very cool book, got an SJJ star review. I like the artwork, good storytelling, and gives you an idea of her life. So another great scientist biography for a young age. Together We March, 25 protest movements that marched into history by Leah Henderson and Tyler Fader. It's got a good look of, you know, really famous protests, but also smaller, lesser known ones as well. Excellent how to have these guides, and got nice diversity in the marches. You got the Children's March, just to name one, the Capitol Crawl that helped set up the American Disability Association and what it means to them, and just different protests through the world live. So very cool book. I think everybody will really like it, especially with all the new protests coming on. It's a good book to have into it. And that's going to wrap it up for the elementary. I'm going to make a middle grade and young adult one, so please check those out. If there's something you like here, make sure you maybe give it a good share, give the video a like, let somebody else know about what you see. Fine. I hope you really enjoy these books. I hope there's some great ones for you and your students, or maybe your child to read. Until next time, thank you, and read again.